Welcome to our countdown of the most jaw-dropping, emotionally charged, and downright unforgettable moments caught inside courtrooms. These aren't just your average trials. We're talking about real people at their breaking point, defendants lashing out, victims' families demanding justice, and unexpected twists that left everyone in the room stunned. Whether it's a spontaneous attack, a shocking outburst, or a powerful expression of grief, each moment serves as a raw reminder of just how intense and unpredictable the justice system can be. Buckle up, these courtroom clips are not for the faint of heart.
Bass Webb.
Bass Webb, a convicted killer serving time for multiple violent crimes, including the brutal murders of two former partners, made headlines again when he disrespected the court. During a court appearance in Bourbon County, Kentucky, regarding the murder of Bria Runewitz, Webb turned his aggression toward District Judge Vanessa Dixon.
Further proceedings, or I have to see you for one further set preliminary hearing next week.
In a shocking act, he spat directly in her face. This display of open contempt became a widely publicized moment, emphasizing his lack of remorse and complete disregard for the justice system.
Christopher Teal.
In King County, Washington, a court hearing took a violent turn when Christopher Teal assaulted his own defense attorney.
In a moment,
without provocation.
Teal, convicted in a 2018 attack at a Seattle car dealership, suddenly punched attorney Reed Birkeland during a discussion about his mental competency. The blow led Birkeland to withdraw from the case, and the event sparked debate about courtroom safety. Teal's erratic actions in court only reinforced concerns that had surrounded his case from the beginning.
Marianne Bachmeier.
In 1981, Marianne Bachmeier became a symbol of personal justice when she shot and killed Klaus Grabowskith, man who murdered her 7-year-old daughter right in the courtroom. The incident occurred during the trial in Lübeck, Germany. Bachmeier had smuggled a pistol into court, and her act of vengeance shocked the world. Her emotional explosion led to a conviction for manslaughter and illegal possession of a firearm. She was sentenced to 6 years but served only 3. Her case continues to stir debates about justice versus revenge.
Joseph Zeller.
Joseph Zeller, convicted for a horrifying 1,990 double murder in Florida, stunned the courtroom in June 2023 during his sentencing. As his defense lawyer, Kevin Shirley, approached him, Zeller faked a private conversation, then suddenly struck him in the face with an elbow. Bailiffs instantly intervened, and Zeller mockingly said, "Sorry, I missed." Following this outburst, extra restraints were applied, and he was isolated. Despite the chaos, the judge proceeded with sentencing, condemning Zeller to death for his crimes, which included the rape and murder of an 11-year-old and her babysitter.
Michael Madison.
Serial killer Michael Madison was attacked in court by Van Terry, father of one of his 3 victims. During a victim impact statement in 2016, Terry lashed out after seeing Madison smirk at him. Leaping across the courtroom table, he tried to reach the killer before security intervened. The courtroom descended into brief chaos. Though Madison wasn't injured, the emotional eruption underscored the deep pain felt by victims' families. Madison was sentenced to death for the murders.
Mindy Glaser.
In a courtroom surprise, Judge Mindy Glaser recognized a defendant, Alon Glenn, as a fellow passenger from a recent cruise. Glenn, facing fraud charges, had been arrested at Port Miami after disembarking the same Carnival Breeze cruise Judge Glaser had also taken. The humorous moment came when Glenn noted he had been dancing on the ship, to which the judge responded that she had been seated upstairs, away from the party. The lighthearted exchange brought a rare smile to the courtroom.
Morgan Tremaine.
Former TMZ staffer Morgan Tremaine delivered one of the most iconic clapbacks during Johnny Depp's defamation trial. While being cross-examined by Amber Heard's lawyer, Elaine Bredehoff, she suggested Tremaine was chasing fame. He sharply replied that the same could be said about her representing Heard. Tremaine stressed he had no personal gain from his testimony and that his appearance put him at legal risk with his former employer, TMZ. His confident retort left a lasting impression on viewers.
Deborah Redden.
Deborah Redden's courtroom breakdown in 2004 became a defining example of emotional instability during custody battle. As Judge Carol Ross ruled against her, granting custody to her ex-husband, Redden erupted. She threw a metal object at the judge, knocking him to the floor. As courtroom officers rushed in, Redden continued shouting accusations. The incident pushed the conversation forward about mental health issues in family courts and the urgent need for better courtroom security.
Jeremy Christian.
Jeremy Christian's 2017 trial for a racially charged triple stabbing on a Portland train included multiple disruptive scenes. Courtroom footage showed Christian making frequent outbursts, taunting victims, and challenging the court's authority. Video from the train, replayed during the trial, captured the brutal moments leading up to the attack. Christian's defense cited mental illness, but the evidence and victim testimonies convinced the jury of his guilt. His trial remains one of the most emotionally charged in Portland's history.
Daniel Villegas.
Daniel Villegas spent 20 years behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. Convicted of a 1,993 double homicide at age 16, Villegas later revealed his confession had been coerced through police intimidation. Years later, new witnesses and evidence surfaced, casting serious doubt on his guilt. In 2018, a jury found him not guilty. Though freed, Villegas has struggled to rebuild his life after decades of incarceration. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of wrongful conviction.
Austin Myers.
Austin Myers received the death penalty for his role in the 2014 killing of Justin Back. Though his co-defendant, Timothy Mosley, carried out the fatal stabbing, Myers was considered the mastermind. During the robbery-turned-murder, Myers helped restrain Back while Mosley attacked. Mosley cooperated with prosecutors and avoided execution, while Myers received the harshest punishment. His legal team continues to argue that Myers' sentence is disproportionate compared to his accomplices.
Bryce Rhodes.
Bryce Rhodes showed zero remorse as he was sentenced to life without parole for 3 murders in Kentucky. Among his victims were 2 teenage brothers, whom Rhodes believed had witnessed an earlier killing. He brutally murdered them and set their bodies on fire. The courtroom was filled with emotional statements from the victims' families, while Rhodes sat unmoved. His defense plans to appeal the sentence, but the impact of his crimes left a permanent mark on the community.
Antonio Barbeau.
At only 13, Antonio Barbeau committed a horrifying act by killing his great-grandmother, Barbara Olson, with his friend Nathan Pape in 2012. Using a hatchet and hammer, the boys murdered her in her Wisconsin home, then stole money to buy weed and pizza. Barbeau pleaded no contest and received life in prison, with parole eligibility after 36 years. His testimony also contributed to Pape's conviction. The case shocked the nation due to the brutality and the age of the killers.
Christopher McNabb.
Christopher McNabb's trial for killing his 2-week-old daughter, Kalia, was marked by explosive behavior. When questioned by the judge about the punishment for whoever was truly guilty, McNabb shouted that the person deserved the maximum sentence.
You claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay, so they ought to get the maximum sentence.
Most definitely.
Okay.
The judge agreed and sentenced him to life without parole, plus 10 more years for concealing the baby's body.
On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On concealing the death of another, I sentence you to 10 years in confinement, consecutive or after.
McNabb's loud claims of innocence and emotional courtroom demeanor became the subject of widespread media coverage.
Nico Jenkins.
Nico Jenkins was sentenced to death for murdering 4 people in Omaha in 2013. His trial was constantly disrupted by his outbursts and bizarre requests, like demanding investigations into his own case. Diagnosed with schizophrenia, Jenkins represented himself at times, raising questions about his mental competency. Prosecutors argued that the brutality of his crimes outweighed his mental health issues. The court presented overwhelming aggravating factors that ultimately led to a death sentence.
Susan Mellon.
Susan Mellon's 2014 release after 17 years in prison was a powerful moment of justice. She had been wrongly convicted of murder based on a dubious witness's testimony. Years later, an investigation by the Innocence Matters Project found strong evidence that others committed the crime. When the court vacated her conviction, Mellon joyfully hugged her family and even danced in court. Her case is a testament to the damage of false convictions and the power of perseverance.
Seth Welch.
Seth Welch and his partner Tatiana Fusari were charged with murder after the death of their malnourished 10-month-old daughter in 2018. The couple refused medical care due to religious beliefs and mistrust of the system. When the child stopped breathing, Welch called 911, but it was too late. In court, the parents appeared stunned when told they could face life in prison. Their trial highlighted the deadly consequences of prioritizing belief over a child's well-being.